Okay, so with our first question, this question is to Archana-siddhi and Karnamrita Prabhus. What is one of the notable takeaways you have from your association with Krishna Nandini Prabhu that would help couples have healthier, happier relationships?
Okay, I'll start on this one and then my husband will chime in it after. So, over the past 18 years, I've had many opportunities to observe Krishna Nandini interacting with her GVT team members, retreat participants, and just devotees in general. And within her style of what I would call servant leadership, she had this amazing ability to be present, non judgmental, non reactive, and extremely compassionate. And she would often use a relationship skill that was called finding the pony. She had her own unique way of telling the story that went something like this, that there were two young boys who were brothers, and both of them tiptoed down the stairs early Christmas morning to see what Santa had left for them under the tree. And the only thing that the boys saw was this huge pile of dung under the tree. And one of the boys, he just started to cry and say, "Oh, we must have been really terrible children that all we're getting is a big pile of poop and there's no presents for us." And the other boy saw things completely differently. And he grabbed his brother's arm and he said with elation, "Where there's poop, there's a pony. So let's go find him." So Krishna and Dini had an uncanny ability to look for the pony when someone was dumping on her about their spouses or whatever. She just had a very patient and kind demeanor that could, she would ask questions. She would seek first to understand the situation, and she would just unearth the core hurt or pain. And then she could understand the need, and that was the pony. And that was what really the person was expressing. So, in this way, she could address the real issue and the real need very expertly to help the person. So, she and Tyreek taught this skill as a relationship tool for couples. It actually was a leadership skill that you can find out there in the world, but they adapted it in a very, I thought, very unique way. And an example of what this might look like, and this is an example that they gave in one of our retreats, is that the husband comes home from work expecting to have dinner ready to be served. However, when he walks in, nothing's on the stove, nothing's been cooked, and his wife is upstairs with their two children. So he immediately goes upstairs, and he's really upset and he's really hungry. And he just lashes out at her. "Why haven't you cooked anything yet?" And she looks at him and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I totally lost track of the time. I'll start something right now." And in this way, she couldn't. So, I lost my place. Okay. In this way, she expecting dinner. Yeah, she said so I was expecting dinner and nothing's been cooked, and the husband just totally continued to dump on her, and she was very very upset. And at first she wanted to lash out and respond with the same kind of poop, throwing it back at him. But she said she quickly kind of got her wits and remembered the skill that Krishna and Dini had taught her. And she said, "I'll make a quick sandwich for you right now and I'll start cooking right away. And I'm so sorry that you had to come home and you're hungry and you're tired and you came home expecting dinner to be cooked and I haven't even started. And I'm so grateful that you go to work and you take such good care of me and the kids, and I'm so lucky to have you as my husband." So she didn't go for the poop. She found the pony and she was able to respond to the real need. And her husband totally calmed down and he was able to just let go. And it was a very beautiful ending. Now, this is, I have to say, this relationship skill takes a lot of maturity to bypass the poop, because when couples, when we trigger each other, it's so hard to stay in our core self. And instead, we want to lash out, we want to hurt back. And so it really is a very mature and I would say an advanced relationship skill. But Krishnandini could do this. I saw her so many times doing this in her own relationship and with not just with her husband or children and devotees in general. So in honor of our dear beloved Krishnandini, I just want to take this opportunity to encourage all of you to try using this skill the next opportunity that you find yourself in where somebody's leaving you a pile of poop. And I guarantee you that you will feel her smiling presence when you do that. So Karnam, would you like to add something
Well,
to
just that
this?
it's kind of it's said in different words. It's a philosophy that I've kind of imbibed from Archana, that everything's meant for your highest good. The same idea with maybe a more graphic example of having a plate of poop and thinking there's something good coming from it. Is that people's tendency is just to react. But this perspective is transformative, actually, in one's life. And I have to kind of think about it every day in my situation, because I'm challenged throughout the day in my course of treatment for cancer. And it's been a 5-year journey, so it's a very helpful, it's kind of a word picture. It's kind of it was a metaphor, of course, but metaphors are powerful. And a lot of the problem is people have bad metaphors for themselves in their marriage. And sometimes just seeing the poop becomes a habit. So it's about, for all of us, in our spiritual advancement, in our relationships, it's about changing the influence it's acting upon us. And to change our orientation to one of, looking for the pony, always. The pot, the silver lining, the lesson, what we're supposed to learn, and how this person is in our lives to help us become a better person, actually. So Krishnandini modeled that wonderfully. It's a great analogy, kind of brings a smile to your face. You visualize these two kids on Christmas. One of them just losing it, the other one having completely different orientation. So it takes practice. It's a philosophy, it's a perspective, it's a way of feeling and thinking and acting. So yeah, it's beneficial for everyone. And I really recommend it. It can really transform your life and that of your family. So Krishnandini was an inspiring example of that. And she went through many challenges in her marriage and her life. And she was able to always, she's got a whole corral of ponies, That's what she did. That's who she was. And we try to imbibe that to whatever extent that we can. Life is a good practice for that. Plenty of poop around. Hare Krishna.
Thank you both very much. Who would have thought that such a poop-filled answer could be so profound from both of you?
Yes.